Pounders, we are live, and tonight we have a special guest from Best Ball Nation, Felix. Welcome.
How we doing?
Welcome to the live stream with the Pounders in the chat, ready to eat. So I'd like to start off today. Let's just talk about some of the news that we got today. Pretty interesting. We have Derek Carr to the Saints signing a 4-year, $150 million deal, $100 million guaranteed.
It's kind of crazy. I didn't think they would give him 4 years. I thought maybe like 2 or maybe 3 years just to see like almost a trial run and then extend him if he did do well. That's kind of crazy. What do you think?
I agree. I was thinking he would get a 3-year max deal just because he's just proved like he might be able to fringe, get you to the playoffs.
Yeah.
And really for fantasy football wise, he's been a QB2 for basically his whole career, right?
Yeah.
Matthew Berry retweeted someone today, Ian Hartiz or something.
Yeah,
I saw
Hartwitz. Yeah.
Yeah, he hasn't had a QB finish better than 10 in the last 7 years. So he's around QB 18, 19 pretty consistently. But for his pass catchers like Olave,
that's good for Olave.
I think it's going to help. I think
it's an upgrade over Dalton for sure.
Definitely. And Juwan Johnson, I'm pretty excited about all of the New Orleans Saints now.
Yeah.
It's not to say like Olave's going in a pretty fair spot right
now. He was pretty going like kind of his max in my opinion already, but
yeah,
that's my opinion.
Yeah, and that's fine. Let's actually pull up these rankings here. Why not? Let's kind of get this going. Let's see where they are. He's going around 28, I believe. 28. Yeah. So honestly, I'm probably moving him ahead of DK, but for wide receivers, like I'm not moving him ahead of Devonta or T. Higgins.
Nope. Yeah. Just the offense by itself. Like I don't trust Dennis Allen.
Right.
Like it's not like Sean Payton Sean Payton's back there, calling the plays. It's whoever they have as offense coordinator. I don't even know who it is.
No. Yeah. But we have Olave. I think you have to move him ahead of these 3 running backs as well, like without a doubt. I wouldn't be surprised if we see him jump here. Maybe not by the end of this tournament because it's filling so fast.
Yeah.
But maybe
I'm not
by
this, man. Yeah.
You're not.
Crazy. There's no way. Yeah.
Okay. So we're on pace. I've been just keeping a pretty even pace with the tournament. Getting players at different ADPs, I think, is a different strategy I'm going to try for this tournament. I know you have a lot of sharps that are like, I'm going to rush the max 150.
Well, see, I maxed it last year. I didn't rush it.
Yep. Okay.
But like this year, I feel like, how about we just pace ourselves and just like go hard, every time you do a draft. Like focus up. Don't take it easy. Just focus on each draft very hard. Like I was just doing drafts. I think I had like 60 slow drafts going at one time. I had I was doing like 2 or 3 drafts a day. Like I think
that's wild. Yeah. So do you tend to move towards just doing slow drafts and then doing 1 or 2 live a day?
Yeah, I throw up one. I throw up like the very first, as soon as I wake up at like 7 a.m., I'm in the next slow draft, and then depending on how work is going, I'll throw up a fast while I'm working.
Love that. That's when the best lineups are created. Don't tell your boss.
No.
So, so we'll pull up the ranking here. Olave's going at 28. You have Nick Chubb, DK Metcalf, Breece Hall, Kenneth Walker. I'd be very tempted to put Olave right in front of Kenneth Walker right now. And I think these wide receivers have to go above Henry, and I would put Olave in front of Henry as well. Just in these sharper rooms, like the wide receivers fly off the board.
Yeah.
They tend to be priced up a little bit. And then Juwan Johnson's an absolute steal for tight end. I mean, it didn't matter who his QB was.
Right.
I mean, 191 is basically free.
Drafters, he's listed as a wide receiver, which I thought was really weird. I was like, why is Juwan Johnson? I kind of take him like a receiver.
Yeah. Interesting. Very interesting. And then Kamara, I mean, maybe one of the biggest question marks,
Yeah.
with Javonte Williams at the running back position this year, 90. You're obviously hoping to
I took my
reach
first
his
share of
upside.
Kamara at like, I think it was like 92. I'm like, wow, with him, maybe he dumps it down more because
Yeah,
Jameis Winston, like his like total pass, he never dumped it down. So I was like, why would I ever take Kamara when he's never going to get like passes?
right,
And
right.
maybe Josh Jacobs got some, but we'll see.
Yeah, Josh Jacobs happily took some
Yeah,
out of the backfield last year. 53 catches, pretty
yeah,
consistent from the year before. So there
yeah.
is hope for Kamara. It's just, is it
So
jail? Is he playing? How many games is it going to be? So
right,
no matter what, you can expect Alvin Kamara's advance rate will be less if he
correct.
does miss games.
Yeah,
Everyone's fully expecting him to. And it really just matters. Is he going to be the one that has that breakout week 17? Is he going to be
it's possible,
Mike
man.
Evans? It's possible,
It's
100%.
possible. It
And
depends
that's
also though. It's something we can't plan for right now in these preseason drafts is what the schedule is. So one thing you
right.
can't predict is week 17. Yeah, you can try to play interdivisional games, but you're shooting dice there.
Yeah, it's thin. It's
Yeah,
thin right now. So yeah, once we get the schedule, that will make for an interesting talk.
yeah.
Drafting those high scoring games.
Did you draft based off week 17 last year?
I did. Now it depended like on the first round where I went. If it was going to be like a Diggs, then I would try to bring it back with some Cincy. But I don't think it was. I don't think it was my main concern. My main
Yeah,
concern was just push advance as many lineups as possible. Obviously, that game just it stuck out, right? It had
yeah.
all of
No, yeah.
the
Had everything, man.
had
I,
all the
I
hype.
every one of my lineups had a Bengals stack in it.
Mhm.
Bengals Bill stack in it. Every single one of them. So I was in the finals. Like I'm like, oh, here's my payday. Like it's about this is about to
Damn.
get going, and I'm on the airplane flying back from LA, and it's like, did that guy just fall over? That was really weird. And then Don's radio silence, and
Yep.
obviously the thing
Yeah.
happened. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it was crazy. It really was. Um, a lot of implications. A lot of
yeah.
implications for
There's a
everybody.
lot. The person who on DraftKings, I think the guy in second was like down 2 points with T Higgins like left.
And did you have anyone left?
Me, I was down in the back
Okay.
because I
Okay.
had actually that lineup was trash. It had Derek Carr in it. It
Yep.
had and I was the only person with Mac Hollins. I was like, oh man, I got this weird like unique stack, and then Derek said he
Mhm.
was not playing, and I was like, oh, shit,
My
this is
puppy
garbage.
3 lineup that I landed in the finals, I think we finished like 114.
I was right behind you. Like,
Had Derrick Henry and Jalen Hurts. Both didn't play week 17.
yeah,
It's like tragic.
yeah. I had
Tragic.
Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley on that team, and it's like if Derrick Henry would have played like and just like how good it would have been.
True. True. Does he have 1 year left in him? What do you think, old man Henry?
Uh, I'm playing like he is, but I'm hoping also that he gets traded.
Yeah.
But that's wishful thinking.
Price is there. I mean, you had people picking him as early as 4, 5, 6 to start the
Yeah,
season last year, right? So
yeah,
getting him around 22 now, and he easily falls.
yeah. With the Cooper Cups like start like that feel like I know they're both like older,
Yep.
maybe a little bit injured, but like the upside's there. Like still,
Right.
like
And
there's still the focal points of both their offenses.
all they have to do is have the potential to have that spike week. If they have the potential, you can tell yourself a story
Yeah,
into why they're the right pick, right?
yeah, yeah. I've had terrible luck on the high picks. Like I haven't gotten like but one or two like first or second picks. So I have like 0 Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase this year.
That's fine. I'm there with the Jamar Chase as well. I have a lot of actually Justin Jefferson. So I've been lucky with the 1 pick, and you could say I've been lucky with 2 and 3,
Yeah,
but not with Chase. Chase, when I have the 2 pick, goes number 1.
really.
It's been
That's
weird like that.
Yeah.
It's been weird like so. I've been lucky with JJ. I can't complain. But what else do we have for breaking news today? Quite a few things.
Geno Smith.
Geno Smith,
Yeah, what a
3 year,
weird.
$105 million.
He was on the brink of literally being
Out of
benched
the league.
for Drew, man.
Right.
Luck.
So
That's crazy.
is Seattle no longer drafting a QB? And I think that's very possible that they put it off till at least next year.
I think they should bring somebody in.
Bennett.
It's possible. Is that who I brought up the other day? No, I brought up him going into the Broncos. I thought he could, and then summer camp, he kind of plays with them, and then sometime in the fall he outplays Russell, and they put him on.
It's not far off. Like, he is coming to the league. He is a little older than the normal, but maybe
Dude
more
didn't
mature.
lose, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, they won back-to-back years. It's got to mean at least something. So, I mean, Aaron Rodgers, now that we have the Saints spot kind of tied up and people thought Derek Carr was going to the Jets, that's kind of two teams taken up. Now, Rodgers back to the Jets as a potential landing spot. What do you think?
I'm a big fan of that. I was a big Zach Wilson fan, more because I was really big on the Jets offense being good last year. Completely wrong about Zach Wilson.
No,
but I was right about the offense in general being decent. But we got to realize that Nathaniel Hackett is now the OC there, so it's not like it's perfect. We hope that they're running the same offense as they did last year, but Rodgers there would be awesome. Either whoever's offense coordinator, but
no doubt.
At the same time, our boy EJ thinks he's going to retire BFFL.
Yeah, and that's cool.
But I think he's coming back. There's no way he's going to retire the same year as Brady and get his. He's a little bit.
That's my feel behind it. Obviously, Rodgers is the only one that knows him, and probably Adam Schefter, right?
Yeah.
The news rat. But where would you put Garrett Wilson when Aaron Rodgers is confirmed there? Like, he doesn't move up a whole lot of spaces, right? He moves up in front of Jalen Waddle.
I think he stays right behind Jalen Waddle just because that offense was so electric. I think he moves right ahead of Hurts, I guess. But even
that's my problem. He's going to move ahead of Hurts no matter what.
Yeah.
That's my problem with Garrett Wilson's ADP right now is I think you're paying for.
How is CeeDee Lamb ahead of him right now, though? In my head, CeeDee Lamb had a breakout season. They literally just got done talking about how they want to run the ball and come as an archaic offense. CeeDee needs to come down.
And more breaking news, you have Pollard franchise tagged in Dallas as well. Now I think Pollard's a full go.
Same.
Draft as much as you can at that ADP. Finished as
my problem is that it's hard to get him and Najee, and I'm a big Najee stan. Always will be.
So maybe you do a little reach in the second, and then
I've done it a couple times. Yeah,
that's cool. You get a little different that way. But Pollard finishes RB7, and he's being drafted as RB13. Now the Lamb ADP, this is very similar to last year, I believe.
It's the exact same spot. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to me. Getting rid of Kellen Moore, and they're literally talking about going to more of a smash mouth offense, which doesn't make sense. But I don't know.
I think he's a great floor play. If you're playing in those cash games and sit and goes, I think he is that guy to provide a great weekly floor. The spike weeks, he can still have them, but it is much fewer than a Tyreek Hill, a Devontae Adams, and AJ Brown. Arguably, an AJ Brown would have a lower floor, in my opinion, making him a better tournament play on average. I kind of view Stephon Diggs the same way as CeeDee Lamb. Kind of like that floor guy. It's just because Buffalo spreads the ball so much.
Yeah, I was about to say Stephon Diggs can get his. It's just randomly, towards the end of the season, he wasn't getting targeted as much. It was really weird. Stephon Diggs blew up more than half the weeks he played, but he kind of tailed off.
I agree. It's not like they were overly running the ball. It's just more Josh Allen spreads the ball. And you saw actually Knox get involved a lot more in the back half of that season. I think that's interesting for his current ADP, especially if you have Josh Allen. I'm not going on my way to go a solo Knox, but it's definitely something to note on the back end of that
I love
season.
Knox, so he'll always be one of my boys too. Yeah.
Attaboy.
You can't just have one tight end. Especially in these 20-round drafts, you have to throw at least 3 at this point.
It's very easy to go 3, and I think unless you're getting a top, you could argue just top 3.
If you Kelsey, you could do 2. I think the other 3, you just got to throw 3 on there.
But Kittle, I think, is someone that you still have to go 3 tight ends because he has those games where he's just going to block for the rushing game.
Yeah.
So I do find it in the 20-round drafts, it is much easier to just go 3 and sort of ignore. I've been ignoring Travis Kelce at this ADP. I've got him a few times at 8 and 9. That's kind of where I'm okay with drafting him at this point. I still think that before the tournament fills, I think he still has time to slide a little bit.
Yeah. I'm not touching Kelce personally, but
Mm-hmm.
I have one share. And I'm like, that's good. That's my one share of him.
That's my Kelce share.
Yeah.
Do you have Mahomes in that share?
I think I do, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram, franchise tagged by the Jags.
Ooh,
I think
okay, I didn't see
this
that.
is good news for Evan Ingram and Evan Ingram drafters. But again, I think this is pretty damn close to his ceiling. He's going one spot.
All the Jags are priced up for some reason.
Yeah.
But he'll slide. That's the thing. Like, a lot of these Jags are priced up, but they slide down like a round or two. Like, Lawrence is priced up way where before he goes drafted sometimes.
Yeah, I agree.
But sometimes those people are like, oh, I drafted Kirk. I need to draft it. So they'll like double up on the pick and get him way too early.
Am I the only one that remembers Trevor Lawrence's best games last year against bad defenses?
Against Tennessee Titans, yeah.
Yeah, Titans, I'm pretty sure Detroit. Like, a lot of those blow-up games that put him up in this range, they were against bad defenses.
But I think they're going to play bad defenses again this year because they're playing the AFC South. And did they win I guess they did win the division. But I guess they're going to be playing a lot harder teams this year, I guess, on the other half.
But with QBs that don't have rushing upside and still have that potential to have a 4-touchdown game, right? Trevor Lawrence, he has that potential. They add Ridley another weapon. They bring back Ingram. Maybe they'll give Etienne 5 targets a game as the hope.
Yeah.
Tua right here at 97. We're talking 42 picks later, 43 picks later, 41 picks later. Big math guy. Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle.
Trevor Lawrence fumbled it 9 times last year. That's insane.
Yeah, a ton of fumbles, but no rushing upside with Trevor Lawrence and Tua. What's the true difference, right?
Right.
They both have the potential to spike the same exact way. It's going to be through the air.
Unless you're trying to fill a stack, there's no
right.
And he falls to some good ADP. I agree.
Naked Trevor Lawrence, naked even Tua. Not gonna be my favorite. If I'm going naked QBs, it's got to be someone with rushing upside, unless the ADP's like, all right, guys, this guy's going too far.
Which is kind of wild that Daniel Jones is still like going in that back area. He's gonna play for the Giants next year. It's like pretty evident, and it's like he had a really solid floor.
Yep.
And it doesn't make any sense why he's going behind certain guys.
I 100% agree. Let's peek the exposures real quick. Let's set this to 10-man. So here's my top exposures. We have Alec Pierce at almost 34%. Elijah Mitchell.
I'm on you. I'm with you with that Alec Pierce stuff, though.
Love that. Tyquan Thornton.
That's interesting, yeah.
And these guys have started to come down a little bit. I've been drafting them super early. Elijah Mitchell was getting him at ADP 155, 152 to start the contest. And then you're going to see a mix of 3 tight end teams that I just keep coming back to.
Yeah. I love Chig, and I get the commit. I'm not on it, but I get it.
Yeah. There's the Danny Dimes that we're talking about, most drafted QB. I think after that, my range is pretty even on QBs here. As you can see, I'm not super overly heavy on any other QB right now. RBs, I actually I'm liking my exposures now. My rookies, I have to chill out on Deuce. On
dude, I'm at 60% Deuce, so I get you. I'm at 30 drafts and I'm 60% Deuce, so I get it.
I also think at the back end of last season, James Conner had a fiery end. Cam Akers had a fiery end to the season. Same thing with Tyler Algier.
The thing with James Conner, though, I feel like he's at his, if he doesn't just have a severe drop off, it could be coming soon for him. The way he runs is so physical, and he's got hurt the last 2 years. I don't know. It could go either way. He could continue on this pace. Also, not the same regime that brought him in. I don't know.
But when do you want him for? We want him for 3 weeks. Give me
Right.
3 good weeks, 15, 16, and 17.
Yeah.
You can't really argue the range he's going in, though.
No,
I think
that's
you
what I'm
would
saying.
agree there.
It's high reward, low risk for sure.
Yeah. I'm definitely higher probably on Connor than most. I've been doing a lot of solo RB teams that the first RB or no RB, 0 RB teams that my first RB is a James Conner. I typically try to get 2 in that range when I do those because that range is so nice with Cook, Algier, Cam Akers, White.
Dude,
Even
I
Dobbins
got
is
White
close
so
to that
like
range.
bunch of White early before Lenny got dropped. Like he wasn't gonna get dropped. I didn't
Right.
understand like nobody was like jumping out. I was like 100 ADP for a back who has the whole backfield to himself when nobody knows anything about that offensive coordinator and his style. So it
And
could
the
be
old
anything.
line isn't as bad as everyone thinks. Yes, they
No, it was
performed
all
bad last
hurt,
year.
man.
They
No,
were
they were
all
all
injured.
hurt.
They were
Yeah.
all injured. So I am not convinced that they don't bring someone else in Tampa Bay, running
But I don't
back.
think that's a bad thing either.
No, I don't think
I
it's a
don't.
bad thing if
I
they
don't think
bring
it
in
limits his
young
ceiling. It's like,
talent.
yeah.
I think if they bring in a vet, again, you'll probably
Sure.
have something close to like Tony Pollard and Zeke. Like
Yeah,
Tony
that's what
Pollard was
they
on
need.
the field
They need
for
a heavy hitter. Like that'd be nice.
53% of the snaps last
Trey
year.
McBride would be perfect for this team.
Yep.
Someone just to
Yep.
run 10 yards and go down, and then Rashad White scores the 15-yard touchdown. Out.
Absolutely. What's the tournament that you took down on DraftKings? Was it the $10 entry?
It was a $20 for the Milli Maker, and it was 2 years ago, not last year, but the year before.
That's awesome. That's so neat. And then
one team made it all the way through.
Dude, that's all you need, though.
Yeah.
That's all you need. That's
so
neat.
I had a 50% advance rate going into it.
Hell yeah.
I had 80 teams go down to 13, and then 13 down to 1, and that one took it down, which was crazy. It was my worst team. I tell her all the time.
Yes. Same thing with my Puppy 3 team. Out of 35, we advanced 12 and then went to 4 and then 1. And it was the worst looking team. It was the team that had like DJ Moore that picked it up at the end of the season, right?
It's
how
awesome.
Random things like that happen.
Yeah. And that's like, I know we differ a little bit on strategy because I'm like heavy on like certain players. Like I'm like heavy. Like I'll get up to the percentages like 70 to 80%. Like
strong stance.
Yeah. Because like in my head, it's like if I believe that this person's going to be good later on in the season, like if I don't have it on that team, and it's like, well, what if I would have had it on that team? Because the pods, it's like the one thing that nobody talks about that everybody seems to be okay with is the randomness of the pods. Like, and there's no like.
So are you reaching? How early are you willing to reach on that guy that you have 80%? Guy? So Deuce. Let's say it's Deuce. Is it 15 picks?
I mean, whenever I feel like it's just whenever it kind of feels like there's nothing else on the board. Like there's nothing fun on the board, and he provides a spark for the team kind of thing. And I need a running back kind of play. If I don't need a running back, if he's not going to bring anything to the team, say like I have CMC, Derrick Henry, and Najee Harris. To say I got those 3 running backs. I don't draft another running back until that area. Like that's not bad. He brings a little upside.
Right. And if he misses at that point, you already have those guys that provide that amount. So even if he misses, your lineup can still very easily advance.
Right.
And I am very simple in that strategy.
And he would be showing up more in like week 15, 16, 17 when you want somebody to have a spike week.
Right. No, I agree. No, it all is about your lineups, right? And different teams needing different things, and sort of being able to balance.
You got to be fluid, man. You can't just be you can't go into a lobby and say, I'm going to draft this, and then we're going to do it off of that. It's like, no, you just kind of let it come to you. Exactly. Last year I was a little crazy because I wanted to try a different strategy and go even harder at my first round pick. It was always Najee. And I thought, let's go with it. Of course, the motherfucker got hurt. Rice pre-training camp started, and it's like
the O-line was bad.
It was bad at the beginning of the season, and it kind of came around, but like so did he. I don't know.
I took some strong stances last year on my do not draft guys. Early too, and one of them was Najee, who ended up with 2%.
I don't blame you. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Swift. Akers and Pitts were the main real fades. Over 3% and under. Do you think there's going to be a fade for you where you're going to have 2%? Because as you open the draft, right, the first 2 rounds, people are typically not fading players in those rounds due to upside. They all have a certain level of upside that they could provide a spike week on week 17. Look at Mike Evans. I think he was back end of the second round last year.
Yeah,
It's a
it was
perfect example.
too high of a draft capital. Like, yeah, I get
He was
that
a
he was on the
terrible
winning team, and yeah, it's a terrible pick. Like, and those people got lucky in the fact that he paid off at the week 17. He literally didn't
Right.
do anything the rest of the year.
Right. Tom Brady as well.
Yeah.
Both in
Yeah,
the winner's circle.
yeah, he was on my winning team when I won $1 million, so I can't talk bad about him. But
So you always will have a place for him in your
yeah,
heart.
yeah.
The best. We do
He
have a
dropped a 30.
12 signed helmet. It's my best stock I ever bought 5 years ago. But yeah, I think that's interesting. Fading players. Now, I typically, like, besides my do not drafts, and I think everyone has those guys for their own good reasons. Do you like to reach on those players? Do you like to kind of have high ownership of players in the 3rd and 4th round? Or is this more you're dotting these players like round 10 on? Because I feel like if you, and this is just kind of my own theory, I try to hyper focus certain players that I think are going to have those spike weeks and provide value as well, rounds 10 on. And if you do miss, like Tim Patrick was a good example for me last year. I was at 24% through 300 drafts. I got down to 16%, doing around 500 total. But if he hits, right, that is going to absolutely crush it, because he was going around pick 165, 175 to start. But if he misses, like he did, he got hurt. I had him on 16% of teams. That's 2 out of 12.
Right.
I still was profitable. And this is cash game sit and goes, 1st through 3rd, make money. I don't think it hurts you as bad when you take those strong stances, because if you can hit on a player in that range, the positive outweighs the negative so much more.
I agree. I personally take big stands when I think a player is at a like, if I could not predict, but I guess in a way predict that he's not in the right spot and he should be like a round or 2 higher.
Yep.
Like Gabe Davis right now going at 80. The man almost still put up a 1,000-yard season, and he's still going behind people that.
Come on.
But he's perfect for best ball because
he's
providing those 1 or 2 weeks that you want. Like, and he has that potential. Like, that pick 80 is kind of insane.
Yeah, no doubt. And but you did see them bring back Cole Beasley last year. Clearly, they didn't think they had enough at the position. It is. The development of Shakir is not where they want to be. I'm really only touching Shakir when I have Josh Allen, and I typically don't have Josh Allen where he's going right now.
And I really like Shakir coming out of Boise State. So, like, I don't know if it's just completely dead or if they're still, like, wishy-washy on it.
Right. It might just be a slower developing player in college, but let's hop into a best board draft. It should be interesting. I think we share some similar strategies, and we should be able to come up with a
Do you want me to jump in
team
with you, or do you want me to?
That's completely up to you. If you want to draft with or just one team, it's completely up to you. We'll try to get as many pounders in the chat in this draft, so we can do a countdown.
I'll watch. I'll contribute.
Okay. All right. So we're going to do a countdown, everyone, so don't get too excited with your happy fingers. 5, 4, 3, 2. I tricked you. We're waiting on 7.
There's plenty of people with it then.
Yeah, this is perfect. It will be a tougher draft.
My highest owned player right now is Chase Brown, and I was so ecstatic to see how he ran this in the combine. Oh,
yeah,
so good.
Big riser. Chase Brown, Evan Hull,
Dennis, 101.
Keaton Mitchell running a pretty fast. 40. Very exciting. So we got 3
Short Gamer's in all of my everything. I don't know if he's stream watching or if he is in everybody's draft. I never know.
Who is it? Which one?
Short Gamer TV. He's in everything, man. Everything.
Yeah, he is watching, so he's probably in your streams. Okay. We have Toast, Short Gamer, TB Bucks, Joseph, Mario, Wobby, Ben. This is going to be a tight room, especially we've released a free draft guide.
I saw.
We did player write-ups until all the way through round 11, and then it was just like value-based. So they kind of already know all my cards at least. So maybe you'll be able to throw them off a little bit. Pick 7, though, that's like, this is my wheelhouse. Yeah. I love pick 7.
I think it's a good area this year. Like, you don't want to be like towards the late because it kind of like sets up. You either have to go. It feels like you have to go this with this.
Right. You're kind of praying that Lamb is there, and if he's not, I'm not double tapping running back, but
me either. I haven't really touched.
I will reach up for Amon-Ra
because I've gotten Bijan at the end of round 2, so I'm like, well, I already got a steal there. Like, I don't know.
Chase goes at 1.
That makes sense. Dennis.
Pretty standard so far. Yeah. I loved Hill. I was getting Hill consistently at 7, 8.
Kelsey goes.
Gonna go Diggs here. My ownership's not extremely high. But again, I do still view Diggs as like a cash game guy.
But he's so solid. It's like you want to win your league, like he's gonna help you. He's not gonna hurt you for sure.
Exactly. Let's see the exposure on Diggs. We're sitting at 8%, so it's actually right on par. I've been doing this, the AJ Brown over Devontae Adams. Just we know who the QB is. Yeah. I think there's a little less unknown.
I'm big on AJ Brown as well, just because he provides again like a lot of upside, and that offense is kind of humming. Even though they lost Shane Steichen, who knows like if that's really a big deal or not, but we'll see. A lot of running backs going here.
Double tap and RBs. Zoom this out one tick.
Big fan of ASB, but he never makes it back this far. So
he was going. His ADP I checked the other day was 20 to open the draft, and I have a lot of this Tyreek Hill, Amon-Ra, St. Brown. Like you can't get it anymore. Get it anymore. Our ownership's 23% on Amon-Ra, and so now I'm starting to cool off. So
do you go with the classic? Oh, sorry.
No, it's all right. As Amon-Ra starts to come down the board, now I will pick the players that I didn't draft when they were going earlier, try to get different ADPs, try to use a small advantage in the first and second round.
Right.
A little different.
I think that's a good place or like a good way to do it. It's like trying to get a little bit different. Go ahead. Who do you want to go? Yeah.
Yeah. I don't have too many of these stacks, but man,
I'm all about it.
The bet.
I haven't drafted at the front end. I've been having a lot of middle to like late round picks, so it's like been so many Jalen Hurts, AJ Brown teams, and Stephon Allen teams. So
I'm completely fine with going any of these QBs in this range. Yeah. I still think by the next tournament they will be going towards the back of the second.
Yeah, they don't need to be here, but at the same time, you need to get them with those players almost.
This is like 18 rounds. If this was an 18-round tournament, this is a completely fine ADP. But with 20 rounds where those teams can still catch up at QB just by going 3.
Yeah.
But the thing is, the teams that do that and they go the 3 mid-tier or late round QBs, yes, they're going to have an awesome advance rate. But I think they're going to fall off in the playoffs at an even faster rate than the teams that do have that elite QB. That's just the way I feel about it. Because now you're asking 3 weeks from Matthew Stafford, Derek Carr, and whatever X late QB you want to draft, Ryan Tannehill.
Right. So who's your player to target in this area?
I like RB. I don't have a lot of ETN, but typically I'm looking for RB. If not, like I like these rushing upside QBs.
I know.
Way over Joe Burrow, over Herbert, over Lawrence. Like I think those are actually really good values.
Makes sense. I like ETN and I like Pollard. So there's nothing wrong with Stevenson, but if I was to,
let's go with ETN here. I think that's gonna be an exposure smooth out for me. I'm not overly high on like one versus the other. If I had to rank them, I probably would put Pollard Stevenson, and then ETN, just because they didn't get him involved in the passing game.
I
And then you saw
was going to bring that up too. It's like, and then they brought in like other running backs. It's like, did they
like
fall out of
Hasty.
favor with them? Yeah, that's what I'm like.
You bring
I was
in
thinking
Hasty,
about.
and the guy gets
And
10 snaps, 5 targets. It's like, where was that for ETN?
Yeah, they also brought in the guy from Los Angeles. Like, it was like random, but I don't know.
Yeah,
it's a little weird down there for the running back situation.
I still think ETN has all the cards in his favor right now to have a great season. But I have 3%, so it's definitely an exposure smooth out pick. Stevenson 10%, and Pollard at 9%.
Mike Williams, that's a good pick.
We'll see if he falls back. I doubt he will. I'm not interested in going tight end here. I think when we go this early QB, it puts you at a huge disadvantage if you also go early tight end.
Yeah, I've gone Andrews a couple times, but
when you have,
but I'm not going QB. Hawkins. Yeah, occasionally. Yeah, well,
like with Lamar.
I'm gonna do like 3,000 drafts. Like,
oh yeah,
so like I fix it up a little bit, but yeah, I'll throw it around. It's like how many people are gonna have Allen, Diggs, Andrews? Like
right. And maybe Andrews finishes as the tight end 1. Josh Allen finishes as the QB 1.
It can't get worse than what happened with the Ravens last year. So maybe like it was a pretty weird season for them.
I already know who you're gonna say.
Absolutely, I'm already like biting at the bit. Absolutely, getting Najee Harris right here, man.
All right. So we'll go.
Rising, man. He was on the rise last year. Like he was the number 8 running back in the last 8 weeks of the season, or number 4 running back the last 8 weeks of the season. And it's like he was only showing more and more that he was getting healthy. He had the same thing that took out ETN for the whole year, the previous year. Like
you have to think they're going to get him some help with the O-line this offseason in free agency or in the draft. But they did show that they were coming together for him at the end. Are you worried at all about the Jaylen Warren?
Not even a little bit. I don't worry about that. I do worry about the checkdowns with Kenny Pickett. He really didn't check it down that much to Najee until the late end of the season. So I don't know if that's a foreshadow or if that was just like coincidence.
Right.
Because he's an amazing receiver, but
I think Najee Harris at 42, it's way too late. He should be around probably 35.
Yeah, I've been drafting him in the 3rd round because it's me. So
that's fine. Strong stances. Yeah. I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Get your guys. Go get your guys.
So yeah, I'm a little bit more than a strong. I'm like obsessive about my certain thoughts. Like if I think something's gonna happen, why would I do something else? You know what I mean? If you think something's the right player, why would you draft somebody that you don't think is higher? I guess to smooth out your exposures, I guess there's like a 40% chance versus like a 60% chance. But.
Well, that's the thing. Like some guy could have much more upside, much more value, but what if that's the guy that just has a shitty week 17, right? So you'll advance a ton if you're right.
Yeah.
But then maybe that team falls a little flat 17. So that's why I do those small exposure smooth outs now, where before I'm more
open to it this year, but I'm still hard, I guess, just because of like the whole pod situation. That same guy that's on that same team, you got 2 teams that are exactly the same, and both, one be, first place and the other one be in last place in those spots. It's like it's a little crazy.
That's true. At the end of the day, like I think your focus is to push as many through as possible, right?
Apparently not. What's Liam Murphy, who won BBM 3. He thinks that you don't. His theory is you want a bunch of shitty teams to make it through. So I don't get it.
Have 75% Kamara.
He very well possibly could.
So here, I'm not opposed to bringing in a little upside rookie.
Him or Jameson, I'm on board.
But we definitely have to start selecting these receivers.
Yeah, but we're good at running back. We don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, double anchor RB. Probably we're only going 2 QBs, so we'll be able to catch up.
If we get some good value, if we get some good value, then we take a running back, but we don't go out of our way to take a running back at this point.
Lockett goes at 56.
That's a good pick. I'm a big fan of Lockett.
Yeah.
I don't have much exposure, but that's because he's been going higher than I've been getting him.
Lockett's like our secret weapon at the pound here. He might be the most mispriced player, in my opinion, in the top 100. Yeah. He finished as wide receiver 13 last year. He played 16 games.
Yeah, he's good. No, he's good.
Metcalf finished wide receiver 18, and he played 17 games. So he did better than DK in one less game.
Do you think
He's
he's
much later.
going behind because of that big game he had in the playoffs? Or did you just because he's a physical beast that it's why he's going behind him?
You like why he's falling so far?
Why he's always behind DK Metcalf? Like it doesn't make any sense. He's outproduced him every year.
Right. It's just it might
is it
just
name
be
value or is it just the way he looks?
It might just be the like regular fantasy football people that are like, oh, this guy, like I don't know when to start him, and that couldn't be further from the truth. Last year, he was so consistent, especially with touchdowns. We know are hard to predict, but in best ball, just fire it up.
Oh boy,
here I'm staring down.
So you don't like Gabe Davis? I get you.
I'm not opposed to it, Josh Allen, but IU
you could potentially push it.
Who's going to be the guy?
Go?
I'm looking at Pickens or Treylon Burks. We're already making a bet on this Pittsburgh offense. It just worries me with his target share.
I'd rather go Burks.
Yeah, perfect. And I'm completely on board.
It's now he's like he was coming into his own towards the end of the season, and he could take. And I was a big fader of Treylon Burks like before the draft and everything, but he definitely kind of like showed me wrong a little bit towards the end of the season, and he was actually running some halfway decent routes.
Right, and I mean he is the alpha on the team right now for Tennessee.
There's nobody else there now.
Yeah, I think
I like Kyle Phillips. But
Ryan Tannehill can be a serviceable quarterback. We saw AJ Brown have good years under Ryan Tannehill. He made Jonnu Smith an elite tight end. So I think Tannehill has 1 year left if they choose to keep him there. But his ADP is kind of broken for a QB that does provide some sort of rushing upside.
He's kind of like the Marcus Mariota of last year.
Yeah,
like going like super late. He's proved that he has rushing ability.
2 years in a row, he had that 270 yards, almost the same amount of rushing attempts, and 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Pretty consistent with that when he's healthy.
Jordan Addison looked really good in the combine. I don't know about what you thought about it, or did you watch it at all?
Yeah. We stayed up to date in the combine. His first 40 time was slow, but I think
I guess I wasn't really watching the 40 times like that hard. It's like when he was running his routes, did he look crisp? Did he catch the ball good? Does he? Because you watch the tape, you see how he, when he's running, like I get when you see it in real life that it's different. But like if you watch his games, he's fast enough.
He has game speed.
Yeah,
he has game speed. I did see one of the highlight catches he made on the corner route, the end zone route.
Yeah,
he's got ups. Yeah. He's an athletic boy.
Oh, did you see that Darnell Washington catch? Oh my God, that was insane, dude!
Catching babies out of thin air. That's wild.
Yeah,
that's a big human being.
And I think he's like the next Gronk, man. He's just a big, massive human being that doesn't know what to do with his body.
Yeah. Did he post a faster 40 than Gronk? Is that what I saw?
Oh, he had to. Yeah, Gronk wasn't. I don't even know. Did Gronk post? Did Gronk go to the combine?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I know he had like that ankle or back surgery the senior year or sophomore or junior year.
That's why teams are fading him.
Yeah.
There's one receiver here, and then I think it severely falls off after Jahan Dotson. Yeah. I like Zay Flowers, but again, we already have a rookie. We know they start slower. I think we have to bring in Dotson here.
Yeah. I was going to say him or Sutton, but that makes sense too. Actually, all 3 of those receivers are decent, and they all provide different things.
Yeah. I can't lie. Like, I'm not on Sutton this year. I'm not on Tony this year. Now, they have the potential to have those spike weeks, so maybe I should be dabbling into them. But I'm
Sutton brings a
deep
game, yeah.
I'm typically going running back in this range.
Yeah.
K-Makers, Cook.
I've been going Cook a lot, yeah.
Yeah. So that's the only reason why I don't have a high exposure to those two.
I'm guessing Rashad White already went. I just didn't see him go.
Let's pull up the board here. Let's see what people are doing. You got Ben with Bijan, Amon-Ra, Amari Cooper, Tony Pollard, Jameson Williams, Marquise Brown, bring in Dak Prescott along. Interesting.
Yeah.
Wabi's got Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, Mark Andrews, Ridley, Jameer Gibbs.
Hold on. Pull over the Short Gamer TV's lineup. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
No wonder there wasn't any receivers out here.
That's going to do it. That's going to do it. So I'm actually more happy with the receivers that we got now.
Yeah,
because
absolutely. Because we're just on par with everybody else right now.
If we put off receiver right here, it would have been a huge mistake. The back end here is really in pain with the receivers.
Yeah.
Scraps.
Someone's got to pay the rake, man. Someone's got to pay the rake.
You boys got the scraps. Guys, if you haven't already, drop a like on the live stream. Hit subscribe. If you like best ball content, hit the bell for notifications so you can get in the live stream with us in the drafts. And give Best Ball Nation a follow on YouTube. Give Felix some love.
Yeah, I'm almost to 200, man. It's crazy.
Joe Mixon, 23 picks after ADP. Is this the spot?
Good.
I mean, when
see
else?
Rashad White? See Rashad White's on. Oh no, he just went right before us. Damn. Oh. Yeah, that's a good spot for him.
I'm not selecting him. I think I have around 2% or less. So it's only when he's falling, and this is.
Well, he's a perfect spot for the Bucks that we were talking about. He could be the nail for the juice, man.
That would be a great spot for Mixon to end up.
Mm-hmm.
We're still going to need receivers. I think we have to push off tight ends still until those late rounds.
Honestly, where's Knox at? Like he's 110, right?
He's coming up.
I know we should be 125, so we got some time. I mean, unless someone overreaches, but
no, I like that for the correlation for sure. If he falls in the right spot, you see these wide receivers are completely picked.
Well, which short game finally drafted Miles Sanders as his first running.
I'm pretty sure he's double tapping, but definitely not my number one.
And maybe we can go after Kamara, the guy we just talked him up all day.
Evan Ingram goes to Dennis.
Well, is he going to go Jared Goff? Where is he at? No, probably not. Who else did he draft?
I do like this 2-5-1 start.
Oh yeah, Pittsburgh stacked. I like that. If you're gonna do both.
Herbert over Connor.
Yeah, it's one of my guys too. See you guys soon on the Pounders. So excited for later. I'm so behind on comments. Thank you guys for commenting.
You just gotta let them fly. We appreciate everyone out here in with us. And we got a lot of Pounders actually in this draft. How many do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 out of 12. Is Crash Rich? Crash Rich might be in the chat too. So it might be 9 out of 12. Let us know if I didn't call out your name.
You're having a good conversation. Sometimes you don't even pay attention to what else is going on, man.
Yeah. Big brain thoughts. I can only compute so much with this tiny sized brain. So I mean, this is one of my favorite receivers in this range here.
Yeah. I wish pretty big on
needed a running back.
Yeah, well, somebody's
needed a running back.
Yeah.
That's where this
nice and
that's where this pick is like. If I go that double anchor RB start, I feel like I do miss out on these values at RB.
Well, I think it would have been okay had Short Gamer and everybody else not be peeing yellow like they were, man.
Of course. How many?
That's a lot of receivers that just went off. That I don't mind going receivers drafting 7 receivers in the first 10 rounds, but he got them all, man.
Let's see how his team looks at the end of it.
Yeah.
See if he can bring it back. He does go Kirk here with JJ.
Yeah.
Try to get some correlation.
I get the correlation, and I get for week 17, you need that upside to have your quarterback with your receiver potentially. But man, I don't believe in Kirk at all.
He's got a nice floor. He's got a nice floor. I would like to see, and what a lot of people have done on that was it 8-9 turn. Mm-hmm. And the 8-9 turn is like a Kirk Daniel Jones. So then you are bringing in someone with the rushing upside as well.
I've seen a lot of Kirk with 2 rookies behind him. I don't know if it's just everybody's on the same page there, but I've seen Kirk with CJ Stroud, Bryce Young, Kirk with Anthony Richardson, someone like that.
I like to at least have one QB that's going to be able to provide me with rushing upside. I don't even mind if it's Kyler Murray, who
I've been drafting a lot of Kyler too.
Will come into the season hurt, but who cares?
Yeah. I mean, is there another Call of Duty been announced for this year or no?
Yeah, not yet. Not yet. It's bound to happen, funny, though. It's bound to happen. So we can reach up and get Knox.
Well, yeah.
The Danny Dimes value is beautiful, but I don't expect to get too many points out of him, having Josh Allen already.
Got a couple one quarterback with Josh Allen, just to get a little different.
Mm-hmm. Do we draft last round Cole Beasley? Is he back?
I think he's done. I think he's done for the rest of his life.
He's going back to watching Red Zone. Poor guy. Came back, and I mean, you have to think that the development on Shakir.
Hopefully something, like say McKenzie was still there, getting used a bunch. It's like he's a little under. He's not great. Like I don't mean to talk bad about anybody because he's obviously like 10 times the athlete that I'll ever be, but
he's shown sparks, right? Like once he has that like once a year game where like, is he this?
Yeah,
he just doesn't do it again.
Wan'Dale Robinson right now looking good.
I love Wan'Dale.
Big part of that offense when he was playing. Another Giant that if you watch any of my streams, I'll talk about from here to there. Is Colin Johnson. He was going to make the team. He was going to be the bona fide number one receiver for the Giants, and he tore his ACL that week 3 of the preseason.
So, are you drafting him for? He's going in the 20th.
Yeah,
right.
Every time. Yeah. I'll occasionally I'll have like very little exposure, but like it's somebody I talk about as one of my like last picks.
I like it. Yeah, it's a good way to get different. I've seen it a couple times.
He might still make might be on the roster like as a starting receiver because they're not like bringing in 5 receivers. They're going to bring in a couple, but
I think that's interesting, especially right now where everyone's so focused on like, all right, dart throw rookie 20th round. Let's go.
A.T. Perry.
Perry, 100%. That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, not the best route runner, but a good red zone guy.
Yeah.
It's going to depend where those guys end up too, right? That's pretty much the most important part. We saw Dameon Pierce's ADP go from 155 to 52, 58 at the end of
76. The big board last year at 76% Dameon Pierce because I drafted him in the last round, and it's like if you watch any of his highlights, the dude was a madman. Like this dude's gonna be the next Marshawn Lynch, and I was right.
He was that boy.
Yeah. All right, we got here. God. I love the booty, but his combine was so bad.
It was doo-doo at best. I still think we need to go get a guy at receiver. I'm fine with it being Sky Moore.
I'm good with Sky Moore, Dubs. I would love to say Booty or Pierce, but Pierce is not bad for the next round. But.
I still have hope for Booty. I think he can stand to fall a little bit. I'm not going to be reaching on him because he will fall in drafts.
Yeah. Greg
So now we have 6 receivers, kind of going up and getting our guys to some extent, which is what you have to do.
That's okay. With them being overdrafted right now, it doesn't matter if they're past ADP because that's just what the board's giving to you. It is what it is. No one stopped drafting receivers, even though there's a nice little green purple at the 2-3 range.
Jacoby Myers at 85. I think that was a little early, right? In the 90s. It's not that bad.
He's getting projected to go to the Texans, which he'd be the one there.
But that's rough. Yeah. That's rough. An offense that we're not really expecting to be in the red zone a whole lot. Remember last year, the Brevin Jordan hype?
I was part of that hype. I was part of it. Their week 17 was against the Jags, and every time the Jags and the Texans play, it's a 60-point game. And it's like you got to get a piece of it, and I was a part of it. I can't.
I love it.
I couldn't help myself, man. Nico Collins was one of my highest on players.
He was a last round flyer basically, and then maybe he moved into like 17th, but it was no earlier than that. Just the Texans just couldn't do anything but run the ball with Pierce.
I hate Lovie Smith, man, so much.
Yeah, it was not a good looking offense last year.
Yeah.
It's only up from there.
How did he get that job though? It doesn't make sense how he got that job.
It's true. I did like Komet there.
Yeah. What about Kyler?
I like Kyler here. We'd be done at QB. We'd have two high upside QBs. I don't think we're going to be able to get Rondell Moore, but maybe we can get like a Trey McBride to fall to us.
Yeah.
I think this receivers, like this pool right here, is kind of doo-doo.
I agree. So, like, I mean, Nico Collins there at the bottom, like, I'm okay with it, but, like, I don't want to reach right now for him. And
I think you have a couple gems in here with Shaheed, Curtis Samuel, who I think is getting severely disrespected this year, which is fine.
I don't think Shaheed, Shaheed's not going to be someone you even think about the next year. Like, you'll be like, that next year we do a draft together, we're going to be like, who is that guy we were talking about? We don't remember his actual name. It's going to be Shaheed. No one's going to talk about that guy.
He had decently high ADOT last year, but
yeah, they're gonna bring in somebody else and totally replace him. Like he's the Devery Henderson of like his time right now.
Could be. He could be. He is going early. I liked him a lot more when he started in the 170s. Again, now I don't understand really why Tyquan Thornton's ADP hasn't changed, especially with you don't expect them to pay Myers. You don't expect them to bring Aguilar back.
And Parker doesn't affect his touches.
Parker's always hurt, and he's another year older.
And they're going to actually have a real offensive coordinator. I'm not like a Patriots fan by any means, but like
I think all signs point up for Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah,
this ADP
that offense,
should be like the second you get the news, right, that Myers and Aguilar aren't returning to the Patriots. Where are you putting him? Are you putting him? You got to put him ahead of Zay Jones.
Yeah, he's in that area of KJ Osborne, Zay Jones, similar type players. What they bring to the offense.
Let's see. Maybe we do get a Rondell Moore falling back to us for the Kyler correlation.
Yeah, we got it. Nice.
Definitely catching up with our wide receivers here.
Yeah. So you think that Sky Moore takes a leap?
Here's the thing. Like the leap doesn't even have to be that big. The leap doesn't have to be that big. McCole Hardman. It more revolves around who I think they're going to return to the team.
Yeah. Justin Ross. They don't bring back they might bring back Juju for honest.
MVS is not a good receiver. So
no, he's a flyer, dude. He's just a flyer.
I'm gonna take the bet that Sky Moore does take the jump. I'm not going to be overly high on ownership, like maybe around 15% cap. But he's going in this fair range where, again, I think you have a lot of these guys are just straight up doo-doo.
Don't take OBJ. I wouldn't waste your money on him. I feel bad for people drafting him. Yeah, I drafted so much OBJ last year. So
it's Will Fuller. It's Will Fuller.
Yeah, man, he doesn't exist. They're the same person.
That's
never seen them in the same room together.
I love that. Not Superman though.
Do you see that Robbie Anderson changed his name to Chosen Anderson? I didn't see that before. Such an idiot.
He was released today.
Was it? Okay, that's
cool. Anderson was released by Arizona.
Yeah.
Let's go Rondell Moore. He can scoop up those 4 targets that he got.
Greg Dortch.
Yeah, he's like the late round poor man's Hunter Renfrow.
Yeah.
But at that point, I think I'd rather a Russell Gage, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree. What do you feel here? There's a couple running backs that I like, but we don't need them. Nico Collins is there.
I'd like to go RB here. Either I like Damian Harris or P. Ryan.
I like P. Ryan, so if we're on that one.
I was afraid if the take was going to be too strong for you, so
no,
I mentioned Damian Harris is just like
he's going to be with the Chargers. He's going to. I think Damian Harris goes to the Chargers. It's
a good spot for him.
Yeah, B's the Sony Michel. Like we just take all their running backs and turn them into just nothing, and then Eckler somehow still gets all the red zone carries for some reason.
Damian Harris still has life in him. I do think that is a good spot for the Chargers, someone to bring in the red zone that could run hard. That's why I think Eckler should actually be going probably closer to the back. Like this is fine at Big 10, but this 12-13 turn.
Well, Bijan shouldn't be going in the first round. I'm sorry. I love Bijan. I love rookie running backs. We shouldn't be going in the first round.
The thing is, he's going off the board as RB3. No matter what round you put it as, he's off the board as RB3 next year. That is his ceiling.
Yeah, there's nowhere up for him. He's never going to pass CMC until CMC's like done.
Right. And now we don't even know what team he's on. What if he ends up on a team that already has a strong running back?
Yeah.
What if Dallas just doesn't bring Zeke back and now you got Pollard and Bijan? I still think he'd pay out pretty damn well, but again,
not
value-wise, risk-wise, he's fallen too. Got a lot of 16, 17. That's kind of where I'm comfortable with Bijan.
Same.
This range, I just like my eyes. They're all just blurry at this point. Like you have Nico Collins, who
I'm a big fan of Nico personally, but that's because he's a Michigan Wolverine. And he's good. He's just got to have good offense and a better quarterback play.
What's your thought on Everett? Are you ever going like a naked Everett when you're doing these three? Either am I. He's another year older.
Another year older. He was never like a standout wherever he's been. He had a couple good games, but wherever he goes, it's not gonna be like whatever. Like he's not gonna be impressive.
And you're a Chargers fan. You're a Chargers fan, right?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of him to get go.
No bias.
Yeah, I was a fan of Trey McKinney like over him. Donald Parham. I'm hoping we get Hayden Hurst. Guess my dog's ready for bed. Get underneath the blankets. All right,
I'm thinking of Trey McBride here again.
Yes,
a little more
perfect,
correlation with Arizona.
Yeah, perfect.
Fall right into the basket there.
Yeah, we'll take those. And Trey McBride, man, he was looking good towards the end of the season. And yeah, we might have who knows what at quarterback to start the year, but heck, that'd be a really good, cool place for Jameis Winston to go. To start off the season.
Yeah. Yep.
You never know.
There's actually some real rookie talent at tight end this year. A lot of them showed up to the combine and absolutely smashed it. So
yeah, they're all pretty good.
Some of these teams that have these older tight ends, you might find that a rookie comes in like a Trey McBride where Ertz was, and maybe they have that slow rookie start that they usually do, but they end up taking over the job. Now,
I'm sorry, people are still drafting Ertz. That just baffles my mind. Like the man's showed a complete decline every year, unless you just only know his name and that's it. But
I agree. Not to
mention, I see him go ahead of McBride. And I was
MCL.
He got
ACL, MCL injury. So
yeah, and they have Max Williams, one of my favorite players to in college to watch. Like he was crazy, and technically he's on the team every once in a while.
What's your thought on Keenan Allen returning to the team? Do they have to bring him back to be competitive?
To be competitive? No. Because they can bring in Jordan Addison or JSN and be, they're not going to lose a step.
And you get cheaper at the position.
But the team kind of likes him. They all he's kind of one of the leaders, so it's going to be a different team. I don't know if that's for the better or for the worse. So
with this P. Ryan pick too, we're assuming that Joe Mixon just doesn't return.
Not there. Yeah, there's no way he's there. Yeah. In my opinion.
Hardman off the board. I like Penny here.
Penny's good, yeah.
Jeff Wilson, I think, is pretty safe to get touches, although I think they bring in an RB.
I don't think he's going to, at some point in the season, he may not even be on the team kind of feeling. They may draft. Heck, they might draft Bijan.
They don't pick for
they don't pick. They don't get a first-round pick, I guess.
Almost did something crazy there.
Van Jefferson.
It's early. Yeah. It's too early.
Wild, man.
It's too early.
What's your thought on Van Jefferson then?
It's more the range, right? If you look at the range, he has a job next year. We just even got the news that Allen Robinson is now allowed to talk to other teams for trades. So that's positive for Van Jeffy. Terrace Marshall again, these two, I think are standouts in this range.
Yeah, that makes sense. I'm not touching Terrace Marshall just because he hasn't shown anything. Who knows what quarterback there is? They'd develop rapport, and he hasn't shown that he is a top 2 receiver. So personally, I wouldn't touch Marshall, but I'm in the Slayton range. I don't know why, but
interesting. Slayton.
Just for the spike, you want the guy that's going to give you a potential at this range to give you a 30-point week. He can do it. He'll catch 3 balls for 2 touchdowns for 180 yards potentially.
Yeah, but he needs 3 of his teammates to get hurt before he steps on the field.
It's possible.
Yeah, it's true. That did happen. You think they bring him back?
It depends on how much he asks for, but I think he's one of those potentials that might replace like he'd be great with the Chargers, for instance. Like if we get rid of Keenan Allen, Palmer steps into the Keenan Allen role, and he steps into the flyer role where Mike Williams is on the outside running his 9, and he runs a deep in. Like it's possible. Like likely, no, but like that's the kind of role he's going to end up being an overpaid wide receiver 3.
Van Jeffy off the board.
Yeah. Man, it's ugly. David Bell, but we already got one Brown.
Terrace Marshall off the board. This is where I wouldn't.
No. You don't want it. Nope, you don't want it. You don't want to do it.
I don't have much, so.
Anything else is no.
Do I just go my typical? This is my typical.
Yeah, this is a good pick.
This is my typical here, and I think we're done at tight end now with these 3.
We don't need more.
Probably one more running back. We'll save those sleepers because we have some snipers in the chat. I'm not talking EJ. We got more than just EJ here.
I know.
So 210, most likely going to be a running back, and I think done at QB, done at tight end. You could argue we just need one more running back, and then that leaves us with 2 more receivers.
Yeah.
So 9 receiver build.
It's not bad.
Let's bring up the board here. See what Mario's been doing. He double tapped tight end, followed by Madison, Lenny, old man Lenny, Tim Patrick, McCole Hardman, Cordell Patterson. Loving those late old RBs.
Oh man, I love Madison. I think he could go somewhere and produce if he doesn't come back to the team.
I always will kind of view him as like a change of pace guy.
Yeah.
He didn't really command targets when Dalvin was healthy. That's the problem. It was really only when he got hurt that they brought him in.
Oh, he did get Pickett too. So you got Pickett Pickens. You got all the.
That's nice. Isaiah Likely. What's your thoughts on Likely this year?
I don't know because it's gonna be different this year because they got a different offensive coordinator. But I mean, it's pretty obvious that Lamar Jackson does target his tight ends because he has nothing else. Now, do they bring in more talent? Who knows? Like you would think that they should, just like we think the Packers should every year. Do they actually do it? That's kind of the like. If you've seen it 1,000 times and you expect something different, you're kind of stupid. But I don't know. I don't think they bring in anybody else because they have good talent there, and it's a tough call for them. What do you think?
He's talented. He should be on the field. They should just run a lot more 2 tight end sets. That being said, I thought they should have done that last year. So I mean, the ADP, you're not getting crushed, especially like you're typically going 3 tight ends if you're going Likely, anyways.
Yeah,
so I think it's fine.
Every once in a while to produce, that's for sure what he needs.
So I think we're both on board with with Chase.
Yes.
I have my Deuce pick is, I think, what was it, 22%? I am trying to bring that down. I like Deuce. I like the hype, but
let's see here.
We're hoping for him to be a Darren Sproles, and that's
56% Deuce.
It's thin. It's thin. Those guys are outliers though at that height.
Yeah.
Can he be that? Yeah. I want a piece of it because he is exciting, and it is, again, when we're drafting in the 18th round. So I have a lot of 20th round Deuce from early, so that's why I'm sort of cooling off as well because the ADP change.
I could see Chase Brown going to the Ravens just off the team that's on my head and becoming like the next Le'Veon Bell. Like he's got that kind of talent. The way he runs the ball, it's like he's patient, and then explodes. Like, he's got a good cut, like his move. It's a really good just up the field cut. It's really good.
You're not worried about like Lamar being there, Dobbins. I mean, Gus Edwards.
I think he would put them behind his back, and he would be like the guy. And Lamar, I think, he's gonna lose some to Lamar, but sometimes that opens up bigger holes for like running backs.
Interesting. It's gonna be crazy how much these ADPs change just based on what teams these players end up on.
Yeah.
I have one player sticking out of all of these. It's Matt Collins.
Yeah.
Before probably going an upside rookie.
Shows definitely a lot of like work that he's going to get. It doesn't matter who's there. They're going to lose Waller most likely.
Just got married. You're not buying the hype that he stays in Vegas.
Getting married in Vegas potentially. I don't know. Did he get married? Yeah.
Who's going to be at the wedding? Who's his best man?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they should. Well, they don't have to by any means get rid of him, but I think he's better off somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Collins doesn't affect Matt Collins. He's a deep fly. Sometimes gets to like a 8-target game, which depends on who's quarterbacking, and depends on Josh McDaniels wants his job. Like the man is a terrible coach, but I don't know. We'll see. He has a great defense and just throws it down the drain, man.
TB Bucks wants to know, how is his squad looking? Let's see if he's going to draft Trask again. TB Bucks, let's start with the QBs. Trey Lance, Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, and Ryan Tannehill. So he goes 4 QBs.
That's a lot.
Tight ends, he's got Kittle, Pat Freiermuth, and Noah Fant. At RB, Christian McCaffrey, Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, Devin Singletary. So 4 RBs. Kind of like got the double anchor here. It could work. 20-round drafts. I'm expecting this to be a rookie. Obviously, he's hoping for that rookie to maybe bring in RB3 numbers. Wide receivers, he's got Devonta Smith, Jerry Jeudy, Mike Evans, Jordan Addison, Wan'Dale Robinson, John Mechie, Paris Campbell, Marvin Mims. I like it. I don't think maybe the board didn't fall to you the right way. Not a ton of correlation. I've seen some of your lineups have some crazy correlation. You have Smith. You have CMC with Trey Lance. We don't know about the rookies, right?
If they go to the right spot, those quarterbacks are good. But
this is a good range for Richardson right now. Now I can't draft him due to just getting him in the 20th round.
I was like getting the 17th, 18th, 19th round. Like I was okay with that. Like I just showed him in the 14th. Like, it's a little high for me.
Xavier Hutchinson's off the board. Typically my go-to. These guys are flying up the board right now.
Oh, we're on the clock. Fuck.
Trey Palmer. Yeah. Here's a little sleepy sleep. Trey Palmer.
Yeah. If you want a real sleepy sleep, I'm big on Ronnie Bell.
Okay.
Man, again, I'm a Michigan man, so there's a lot of bias towards these receivers and players from that school. But he tore his ACL at the beginning of the season 2 years ago. Had a slow start and then started to come on, and he ran a 4.5, so like decent speed, and like he's gonna be, your Keenan Allen type. He's gonna be decent.
I think people might not understand when it comes to wide receivers too, the 40 is not everything, right? You kind of want to see the route running is going to be more important, but the running backs, we weigh heavily on that 40 speed. Also, it's dependent on their weight too, guys. If they're 220, they're 189.
Yeah,
I think Gibbs actually came in a little lighter than people were hoping.
Yeah, but he's just trying to get a good time because that's
exactly.
Do you think he's going to be a good running back, or do you think?
I do. He's going to heavily depend on.
I think he's better than Brian Robinson, for sure.
I think where he's going right now, it's expensive, right? This is almost the 5th round.
Yeah,
the 5th round's expensive.
That's what we were getting Breece Hall last year,
right? Yeah. Right. You just have
not
a lot
the same
more
talent. Yeah,
known with DeAndre Swift is actually closer to this range, I think, in ADPs when we pull them up. Swift at 53 and Gibbs at 57. You just have some more range of outcomes with Gibbs, where if he lands in the wrong spot and he's the 1B, where there is a strong 1A back, like he's going to go in the 7th, 8th round, or should be going in that range, right? He could still pay out. He might be the player that has that boom week 17.
Yeah.
But yeah, just a little different tournament talk. And yeah, this has been a lot of fun. We'll definitely have to get into another draft soon.
Absolutely.
It was an absolute honor to have you on, my man. It was absolute blast. So congratulations on that dub. If you haven't heard that enough times already.
Oh yeah.
Pounders in the chat. Give this guy a follow at Best Ball Nation. He's also at Twitter. Was it Crying Buffalo?
Yeah. I made that
Twitter
like 10 years ago, man.
I was like, is he a Buffalo fan? No. Chargers.
Yeah.
Makes sense. Everyone, thank you for coming out. If you haven't already, drop a like on the way out if you enjoyed the stream. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the Pound, and put the bell on for notifications so you can get in these live drafts with us the next time. Pounders.